In this video, I will add BMAD to the project. Then I will do the two things that matter for Brownfield. Let BMAD read the existing code and write documentation for it, and then save the project's coding rules. I run the installer from the root of the repo, so BMAD can see the whole solution. Everything it adds stays here in the repo, right next to the code. So we used this command to start the installation process. Now we select an installation directory. Let's keep it, as I said, to the root of the project. Now it asks which modules we want. Core is always on. I'll keep BMAD method. That's the main one with all the steps we will use. The others are optional. Let's leave them off. Let's choose the LLM we'll be using. It's Claude Code in my case. Let's keep defaults for all the other settings. And it shouldn't take long. So we can see it created a lots of files, some folders, but really it's just three things. First, BMAD. This is the engine. It's BMAD itself. The agents and workflows are all in here. Core is the base, BMM is the BMAD method part, and custom is where you would put your own changes. Second, Claude skills. This is what we actually use. Every agent and workflow becomes a skill we can call by name. Right here in the editor, we can use any of those skills. They are built from the modules in BMAD. Third important is BMAD output. This is where the results go, the files BMAD produces. It's empty now, but it fills up as we work. Let's commit the installed files so the docs BMAD creates next show up as clean separate changes. Now actually we can try using some skill. BMAD has a built-in helper called BMAD Help. It looks at the project and tells you what to do next. So as we can see, it analyzed our files, tells us where we are and what we can do next. As we can see, it comes up with a recommendation that we should start the generate project context flow. This is an important part. BMAD doesn't know our code yet, so we will run the document project skill. It reads the whole project and writes down how it works right now. It's a map that both people and agents can use. Also, it gives us a great tip that we should run each skill in a fresh context window. So let's do it. Let's open a new window and select the Analyst. So this is Mary, our business analyst agent. And we can see here all the workflows that are available for this agent. But as we mentioned, the first one we should use is document project. Let's choose this one. So it did some initial analysis and now it asks how deep to scan. Quick only looks at the structure, it's too shallow. Exhaustive scan reads every single file and can take a while, so this is too much for us right now. But let's go with the recommendation with deep scan. It reads the important files in each project, which is the right balance. Let's pause here and see what it generates. It's done, and here is what it made. A full set of docs from nothing. Let's see the index. It's the front door, the map. Every other step reads this to find its way around. This is the key file. Architecture. It understood our architecture, clean architecture with a shared core. API contracts. It pulled the real API endpoints. Data models. Here are our real entities. And notice it correctly saw this is a monolith project, one codebase with a shared core, even though there are 3 runnable applications. That's an accurate read of how the project is really built. This JSON file isn't for reading, it's just the scan report that agents use. The rest cover the project overview, the source tree, a component inventory, and the deployment and development guides. Treat all this as a solid first draft you can validate and extend. Now let's also commit these changes. So the documentation we just created tells what's already in the project. Now we will create the rules for how the agents will write the code, so anything we build fits in. For that we will use the generate project context command. Let's open a new Claude session. We could, as previously, select an analyst agent, but as well we can run the workflow directly. Let's do this. It reads the code and picks up things like our stack and versions, how the code is organized, naming, how to test, and the patterns we use. Then it writes a first draft of the rules. Our job is just to review and tighten it. First, it analyzes the project, using the docs we already generated as a head start, and reports what it found. Our stack and versions, the patterns we already use like clean architecture, specifications, and the result type, and the key areas that need rules. It even flagged real brownfield issues, the in-memory database being on by default, hard-coded secrets, and task delays. Exactly the things we want the rules to catch. And it's created it created the project context file. Now it's ready to fill in the actual rules. So let's proceed here. Now it writes the rules one category at a time. Technology stack, language, framework, testing, and so on. My job is just to review each one and tighten it. This one is the C# rules drafted straight from our code. Take this one, for example. For expected problems, like an item not being found, our code returns a result instead of throwing an exception. That's how the project already works, and it's something an AI would usually get wrong. Capturing it here keeps new code consistent. You also can see an option called Advanced Elicitation. That's a mode where the agent asks you deeper questions to pull out extra rules you might not think of on your own. For now, I will stick with these default rules. They are already quite solid, and we can always extend them later. So I'll just continue till the end. It finished generating the context file. Let's see what it created. Here is the finished rules file. It's short on purpose. The agent loads it every time it writes code, so it needs to stay tight. Technology stack and version, some language rules, framework and architecture rules, testing rules, code quality rules, of course, and some development and critical don't miss or don't do this rules. Let's also save this progress. And that's the Brownfield setup done. BMAD is installed. It has a map of the code. It knows our rules. These two steps are the ones a new project never needs. And we only do them not for every feature, but once for whole project. In the next video, we start planning. We will figure out what to build, then write it up properly. See you there.